day and say, sister is busy learning to shave, brother just out his feminine way. It's hard to tell them apart today. Hey, hey, girls were girls and boys were boys when I was a tot. Now we don't know who is who or even what's what. Knickers and trousers, baggy and wide, nobody knows who's walking inside. Those masculine women and feminine men.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in today for this adventure known as Through the Breach. We are about to embark on an epic tale which will take our heroes through the city streets of Malifaux, a dark and foreboding place within an alternate dimension to Earth, where one can find true magic within the power of the Soul Stone. However, not all need the power of the great and powerful ore. Some have been born with magic. These entities, known as mages, are often victimized, persecuted. But those that stand up for them, those that rise up in order to protect their rights as spellcasters, are none other than the infamous Arcanists. Today's adventure takes us on a journey as we embark on this high-stakes adventure with the Arcanists and these amazing characters.
Alrighty then. Hello, greetings, good morning, salutations, and oh my god, thank god everything's working. Yay! My name's Michael, I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. Welcome one and all to Through the Breach High Stakes. This is our Through the Breach adventure where we play a bit of horror, play a bit of an alternative role-playing game. This is, of course, one of my favorite role-playing games. It is a card-based Wild West horror set in the early 1900s. And joining me today are a cadre of people who I have managed to lure and seduce to the side of Through the Breach. Ha 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 ha. Some of these faces you will recognize, others may be new to you, but going around in a circle, guys, let's take a moment and quickly let everyone know who we are and what we're playing, starting from my top left. That is, of course, none other than DM Stretch.
Oh, I'm DM Stretch. I'm a world builder and Twitch streamer. Stream a lot of TTRPG content, making monsters and things. Occasionally do painting or gaming streams. And today I'm playing Sergei Volkov, Russian former military, coming to Malifaux to try and earn some cash, make his way in the world. Not having much luck so far. A lot of things turn him quite cynical, but he's not giving up. Whatever he can do to make money, if the competition doesn't get there first.
Fantastic. And of course, jumping across screen really quickly, come to, of course, none other than the infamous Rick, a long-term player here on the channel, and of course one of our regulars for our Friday stream. Rick, how are you, mate?
I'm well, Michael. Thanks. You?
Yeah, doing pretty good, man. Tell us who you're playing today.
I'm playing Gaston Vitali. He is a long-time Arcanist sympathizer who came through the breach to set up an underground printing press, sending out pamphlets and propaganda for the Arcanist cause. He's been further entrenched because his wife, of all things, manifested abilities as a mage upon coming to Malifaux by nearly electrocuting him. And he's been pursuing some of his own talents in that area, which I'm sure we'll come to. But yeah, no, he's a hardened, true believer.
All right, spectacular. Next up, of course, we have a friend of mine, a very, very dear friend of mine, and of course, partner of the wonderful Roll for Initiative YouTube channel, Twitch. Do you have a Twitch channel? I don't think you have a Twitch channel. You've got an Instagram.
Yeah.
You don't have a Twitch. Wow. Okay, there you go. So YouTube, go to YouTube, youtube.com/roll4initiative. This is, of course, none other than the wonderful Ryan. Ryan, tell us about. Actually, you know what? Because this is technically your first time, like, on my live channel, tell us about yourself and tell us about the character you're gonna play.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, everybody. I am Ryan. I am half of Roll for Initiative. We make videos about tabletop and players' diaries and GM diaries, and review different books and journals and all kinds of stuff for all of your different types of TTRPG needs, and try to just put stuff out there that's helpful and entertaining. And tonight I am playing as Archibald Haddington, who is a little bit older. He's in his early 40s, a little bit shorter, sort of a squat. He's got a beer belly that he's very, very fond of sort of folding his hands and setting it on top of. And he always tries to do the right thing, and he loves to study and learn, but it's never worked out well for him. And he actually joined the circus life for the longest time, because even the folks of Malifaux City love a good bit of entertainment. And he's kind of working off a little bit of a debt with the Arcanists. There was an incident involving a bear and a silk ropes and his own acrobatics act, and we're just going to leave it at that. And so he's paying off whatever happened there.
Awesome, and hopefully your actions will, of course, earn you a little bit of leeway with your debt collectors. And last, of course, but certainly not least, returning once again into the realm of Malifaux is, of course, a member of our Wednesday Patreon game. This is none other than the delightful McKinley, playing the role of Ellis. Hi, Mac. How you doing?
Doing okay. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Now, Ellis is a character you've played before, but tell us again, for those of us who don't know, who you're going to be playing today.
So I'll be playing Ellis, who is an all-around entertainer, but is mostly using that as cover for a more magical sense, as he is an illusionist, actually. And is trying his best to hide that, and is going to need to do his best for this specifically.
All right, I love it. Okay, so fantastic. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you know, this is the Dead Aussie Gamer channel, right? So we don't do things in halves. We do not just say, hey, come and watch us play and have fun. We want you guys to have fun with us as well. And there are a number of ways that you can influence the game as we go. Now, of course, we have our usual channel points, which will mostly work, I think. Yeah, they'll work. Sure, why not? We also have some special Through the Breach rewards, which, there you go, bam, there it is, that allow our audiences to do some fun and interesting things as well. For $15, you can grant a fate point to a player of your choice. This fate point can be used to give people a positive flip or give them an advantage in a particular check. It may also allow them to petition the GM for random things that may not necessarily be in the rules, but hey, why not? You know, you want to ricochet a bullet through a gutter and hit a sniper on a rooftop? Let's make it happen. It'll cost you a fate point to do stuff like that. For $25, we enter boss mode, where we increase the rank of whatever the group is fighting by 1 step. Now, what that actually means is that usually in the Through the Breach game, NPCs and bad guys don't actually flip any cards. They have a set DC based on their rank. Now, that rank increases and jumps by anywhere between 2 to 4 in value for the DC with every step that it's increased to a maximum of it being a master. So yeah, it can make a like a battle against children suddenly turn into a life and death situation with like these like, you know, kung fu ninja kids or whatever. For $50, we play Spare the Dying. We revive a dead or fallen character. Now this is Through the Breach, so it is quite difficult for characters to die, but if they do, usually it's quite messy. And for $100, we have Sweet Dreams. We introduce one of the iconic Masters of Malifaux, and we throw them into the pit here. Now, a Master of Malifaux is considered to always flip a red Joker. They're basically a force of nature in a game as opposed to an actual person. So there you go. That's a whole thing. That's the whole vibe. All right. Players, are you ready? Okay, in which case, I'm going to invite my players now to initiate the first thing that we do in any good game of Through the Breach, and that is using a small deck of 13 cards that you guys now have pre-made associated with your characters, known as your twist deck. I would like for you guys each to draw 3 cards from your twist deck. These cards will represent your hand of fate. On screen now, ta-da, nope. I said... Oh no, that is somewhere. Where are you? Where are you behind Ryan?
It's all mine.
I guess. Hold on, let me come back.
No.
Ryan, give me back my deck. I need it. I need it to play, man.
Mine. Okay.
All right, there we go. All right, there we go. Look at that. It's a little big. There we go. All right, so this, ladies and gentlemen, is, of course, our Fate deck. Now, during the course of the game, we are going to be flipping cards from our Fate deck to determine success and failures to any challenge that we do during the course of the game. Our players who have their Hand of Fate will be able to replace cards from this deck that get flipped with an action known as cheating. We'll explain the rules as we go because, you know, we usually have to. But for the most part, that's the game. Flip cards, get things right, get things wrong, and enjoy the process. All right. Without any further ado, I would like to cast our minds into an industrial area. This area is basically the home to many of the members of the MNSU, the Miner and Steam Fitting Union. There is just this constant, very, very thick fog that seems to constantly be lingering over the entirety of this area. You can sort of hear the sounds of the city in the distance, the more centralized, guild-controlled spaces, kind of fraught with like people bustling through the streets, shopping. Even the sounds of a few vehicles moving through the streets can be heard at this distance. But here, the only thing you can hear is up close is the sound of the workhouses, the huge heavy iron machines that constantly hiss steam and belch smoke. It is here that each of our characters make their way towards what looks to be an old and abandoned warehouse.
Sanguinary.
It's all right? All right. So, as our heroes enter the scene, I would like for each of us to describe our characters, starting with Sergey.
Sergey is a tall guy, well built but not huge, wearing sort of common everyday gears. Smart but not too smart. He's got a long rifle slung over his shoulder, old strap. An old scope on top. As you can see it, as he's turning it swings out very slightly.
All right.
That and a backpack on his bag, and that's it.
Nice. All right. As you step forward, you can see on the door of the warehouse someone seems to have like done some like graffiti work, like just like these scratch marks and these paint marks that seem to brandish things. Just a bunch of gibberish that kids did. It's like just all over the place. But as you look closer, you do see a very unique mark. This mark is that of basically it's like it looks to be kind of like a square-winged butterfly, or at least to the untrained eye. Upon closer inspection, you recognize it as a symbol of an open book, which of course is the symbol of the Arcanist. That's what Sergei sees.
I step closer and sort of, So look around. Is there anyone watching?
Casting your gaze around, you notice that there is definitely some movement in the nearby windows and buildings. But as soon as you cast your gaze to them, these shadows flicker, and you see the waft of like these tattered sheets that normally kind of half hang over these windows, kind of move as if something's moving behind. You're definitely being watched by something or someone.
Used to being in an environment where I'm being watched. Keep one eye open. Pretend I've not seen them. I move down just a little bit to where I look like I've moved on, but I can still look back and see what's happening.
All right. As you move away from the door, just to kind of pretend like you're not doing anything, someone seems to be approaching you from the darkness of the alleyways that wind between these industrial houses. Archibald, or Archibald, should I say? Could you describe your character and, of course, your approach?
Yeah, absolutely. So through that alleyway, you see a shorter guy, and he has this nice round pot belly that sort of sticks out. He's got a little like riding crop under his shoulder, under his arm as he's walking through. He's got bright red hair, shaved sides, but then the hair sticks up another good couple of inches for it. He's just it'd be hard to not see this guy as he kind of walks towards you, and all of that kind of stuff. A very noticeable jovial smile on his face.
Yes, complete opposite to Sergei, who's expressionless. Or his happy face seems to be in a bad mood.
Well, sure. Then yeah, I'll say Arky. He walks up a little bit closer then, and he says, well, my friend, I have to tell you that you look like somebody who just shit in your cereal this morning. Is everything all right?
All good, thank you. Just the usual day. And you would be?
Well, I would be. Let's see. What would I be? I would be a tall, blonde woman that just had the eyes of every man around him. Unfortunately, I'm not. My name is Arky. Nice to meet you. And he holds his hand up to you.
Yeah, I'll take a hand, shake it. So,
do you wear any jewelry?
No.
Okay.
So my name is Sergei.
Oh, Sergei, very nice to meet you, my friend. Sergei Bladanovich, yeah.
Sergei Volkov.
Sergei Volkov, it's so very good to meet you, my friend. Sergei, yes. And he doesn't get taller, but like his shoulders pull back, and he like his physical persona changes when he hears your voice, when he hears your name.
So what are you doing here?
Oh, this is character study, always to be learning. What is it you're doing, Sergei?
Well, I'm always looking for a job, and anything that pays a decent wage.
Yes, this. Oh, I can't do it. It's. I tell you, what's really hard about all of that is just it's the chest voice. Yeah. Oh. Whew. Anyway, yeah, good paying sounds absolutely fantastic. You just happened to walk this way, or maybe somebody told you to come walking this way.
Yeah, maybe. I'm guessing we may be here for the same reasons.
What are your reasons?
I heard someone was paying for a little job that he's doing. And you can see that he's used to not giving much away, and it's so used to him, it's part of his personality. He speaks when he needs to speak and speaks as little as possible.
All right. All of a sudden, the door that bared the mark of the book swings open. Gaston, you from the inside, where you're supposed to be awaiting your contact, have just heard this. There's quite a very audible commotion coming from just on the other side of the door. Could you describe your character as you enter the scene?
Sure. Gaston is of middling height, maybe 5'10"-ish, fairly thin, wiry build, dark hair, a classic oiled mustache that he keeps nice and tweaked. His hands are stained in ink all over, and he looks like he belongs in a shop somewhere, except that he's dressed up a little and has a waistcoat and suit and a little dapper tie. Lurking somewhat behind his shoulder is a clanking a creature of iron and a few bronze and copper pieces cobbled together. Doesn't appear to be particularly dangerous or even particularly functional, but it stands and moves on its own. It's a construct of some unusual design. Buongiorno, gentlemen. Welcome. You're making a little noise here. This is supposed to be a discreet place. Do you need to come in?
Just step forward, noting the fact, a point about the noise. I don't say anything. Keep my mouth shut and just come towards you. And say in a low voice, sorry about the noise.
Yeah, I was just about to tell him to shut up, to be honest with you.
What can I say?
Gentlemen, it is nothing. It is nothing. The thunder of the hammers is loud, but we do not want to draw the wrong sort of attention.
Just, do you hold the door open for it, or are you literally in the doorway?
No, he'll step to one side and hold the door open for you to enter if you want to come in.
All right.
Yeah, I enter.
Okay, so as Arky and Sergey enter past Gaston, Gaston kind of peers out and just kind of looks around and before closing the door. Inside what looks to be a small sitting room, like kind of that you would see at like a dentist's office or a doctor's office, are several seating chairs lined around the outside of this very, very small room with an open corridor that leads a little bit further into what you can see beyond is a storage unit. Several rows of boxes seem to be beyond the wall there, and there is a window that separates a sitting counter from of course, the main warehouse itself. Seated in this particular room is, of course, Ellis, who is already waiting. Mac, describe Ellis and, of course, what they're doing as they are waiting in this particular room.
So Ellis is a kind of tall, definitely lankier man who is dressed well and in the Edwardian styles, has a long overcoat over a more colorful waistcoat and tie, and I believe it would be a Homburg was the common style. just sort of sitting and I think kind of like viewing everyone else, just with a sort of cheerful disposition to him, just sort of looking at what everyone else is doing, seeing what curious things people are up to.
All right. As Sergey and Archibald enter, Gaston, you hear the door click once again behind you. But as it does, you hear another noise. It's the sound of gears turning and metal scraping. You twist the handle only to discover that it is now locked. Very well. Well, I guess this is a thing. Okay, so as that happens, a voice seems to come over on a speaker box that is on the actual table there. Hello, hello. Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Yes,
can
loud
hear.
and clear.
Oh, excellent. My name is Simon Howlett, and I'm the one who called you here. I'm calling on behalf of our client, who prefers to remain anonymous. She has a task for each of you. Many of you are, of course, aware of who you're working for, but specifically, we are not at liberty to discuss the person who has asked us to undergo this task. As you know, we do look out for the safety and well-being of those who have magical capabilities here in the city of Malifaux. However, it turns out that over the last few weeks, several agents who have been asked to make their presence known and aware in the guild districts have gone missing and failed to report in. We are concerned for their safety and want to look into it, but of course, if any information that they may have has been leaked to the guild, it puts any member of the Arcanists at risk. So what we have done is we have selected a group of individuals with loose ties to the organization to perhaps go in and investigate for us. Your payment in full can be found in the top drawer of the desk in which you will find this radio, and if there are any questions, I would be happy to field them right now.
What number of officials have gone missing, so we know who we're looking for?
There are 3 missing officials. Their names are as follows: Thomas Elliot, Vitago Carmine, and Elaine Kravmenachov.
Right, and we will be led to their last known location, or are we going?
Their last known location was a safe house provided by our organization. You'll find it at the following address. It is enclosed inside with your payment for the task, 30 Withersley Drive. That address again is 30 Withersley Drive.
Perfect. I look to the others. Well, do any of you have any questions for this?
Yeah,
You have sorry, after you.
yeah, Arky walks up a little closer to the box and like thunks it like people do to microphones that you're not supposed to. And says, "Hey, hello, is this working?"
Yeah, no, I hear you. You don't need to shout into the microphone.
Okay. Was there work related? Hello?
Was there work related to what?
Each other.
Oh,
Like, were
yes,
they
yes,
on the
indeed.
s-
They
on
were working
assignment?
together.
Well, what was it?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to discuss the specifics of their.
Oh,
their
yeah, that
tasks.
makes sense. I'm sure the specifics of what they're working on wouldn't be any use at all for us trying to find them.
Well,
Friend, surely you understand that cannot give away information like this. It would endanger the entire organization.
Whose side? What do you do? Whose side? I'm trying. This is supposed to make things.
Me? I'm on their side. I'm just offended they talk of loose ties. I've been supporting these people for so long.
You just
and
blew
they
the
say
whole
loose
damn
ties.
thing. Come on, Gaston. Seriously.
All right, I'm gonna allow for the first check to happen here. I'm going to make you, Archibald, you are going to make a convince challenge to see if you can convince this guy to relinquish any more information. And I'm going to give you an advantage as your exchange with Gaston has kind of bewildered him a little bit. And he might, like, get to that point where he's like, oh, I need to rush these guys out because, you know, like time is of the essence, and this seems like it'll go nowhere if you know, I don't answer these questions. So let's go with a convince check with an advantage. So we start by flipping our first card from the Fate deck, which is a 3 of Crows, which is not great, and a 2 of Rams, also not great. So that is your current standing. Now, of course, you can accept these. There is no, you know, big penalty for, you know, like, it's not like you crit fumble or anything like that, but it is up to you. The DC of convincing him is a 10, however. So if you wish to, you know, cheat something in so that you can get a 10, you may do so.
So I have a question because I am still very new to Through the Breach. So like my convince skill number, does that factor in?
Yes. So you would be adding
flip
your
one of my cards.
Yeah. So you would be adding your ranks in convince. You would also be adding, I believe, for convince is your intelligence. Yeah. So your intelligence plus your ranks, and then you add that to whatever we flip.
And I can combine those 2 cards to that?
No, well, only one of them. You combine one of the cards.
Only one of the cards.
The highest.
Oh, yeah, no. That sounds awful. No, I think I will try to sneak one of my cards in there then.
All right, what card are you playing?
Let's see. Do I choose or do I flip at random from my deck?
You draw 3 cards from your deck, and then you use those 3 for your hand.
I use those 3 for my hand. Oh, well then I think I will just go ahead and use my 10 of Crows.
Ooh, nice. All right, with the 10 of Crows, plus what is your convince?
4.
4, so that's a 14 in total. With a 14 in total, you not only, you beat that quite happily. He says, I'm... Sorry, my radio voice is crackling. Let me try again. Well, look, maybe there is some information I can give you. You see, recently there was an incident involving the Governor General. I'm sure all of you are aware of the presence of the Burning Man by now. However, there were a few major changes within the guild that happened besides that of the surrounding the Burning Man. One of the organizations that, of course, we at the Arcanists struggle with the most, the Witch Hunters, have also seen a massive downturn as their leader, Sonia Creed, is known to have gone Earthside for the time being, leaving the current Witch Hunters in some disarray. The task of the other agents was to try and scout the guild Witch Hunters headquarters for weaknesses, as well as weaknesses in their patrols and the like, so that we may be able to strike back at them. However, again, we are concerned that perhaps they have been discovered and their mission been made public.
See, that's very helpful. Thank you so much. That wasn't so difficult. I'm sure that'll help us get them just maybe before dinner. You know, who's to say?
Well, I hope that you may succeed in your task. Again, the reward is in the drawer, as is the address. If there is anything further that you need to contact, the safe word is molasses. I repeat, your safe word for this mission is molasses. And with that, the radio begins to smoke before it then fizzles out and runs out of power. And the door, you can then hear the gears twist, and then you hear that sliding metal unlock.
I wonder whether that was deliberate. It shouldn't smoke
Hmm.
like that.
No.
Gaston starts to sort of peer under the table to see what the mechanism is.
You notice under the table this thing is not plugged in.
An interesting device.
Interesting.
Not time for that now, though. These people are in grave danger. The witch hunters are ruthless.
Does it look like there was
And-
a soul stone inserted before we go with
It does
away
not.
from? Okay, just want to make sure.
Yep, you kind of go up to the back and you kind of like pry open. There's usually like a soul stone compartment inside of the kind of radios that are portable. But you know, again, that's like, you know, like imagine like you know, the latest iPhone, you know, kind of like if it has a soul stone, this radio is like worth like hundreds of dollars. You crack open the back of it and you have a look. There is no compartment for a soul stone.
Got it.
But I like your resourcefulness. In fact, I'm willing to reward it and say that in the drawer, in addition to 5 script apiece, so you guys each get 5 script. The address is listed in there. You also find a single shard of soulstone. So it's not a full one, but you do get a shard. Now, soulstones basically work like this. In Malifaux, in order to cast spells, you would need to flip a card from the Fate deck, as we have seen already. However, for many spells, you require a particular suit in order to successfully cast a spell. So if you're casting like sorcery spells, you'll need a ram. If you're casting necromancy spells, you'll need a crow. A sliver of soulstone can be expended in order to give you the suit that you need. So casting becomes much easier than if you didn't possess any soulstone. So you now have a shard of that with you.
Very nice. Perfect.
Mm.
I
All right.
think it's
As Elias is looking at the empty radio just over his, well, probably not over your shoulder, but just from around your back, just kind of points his finger at the empty box and says, "Well, that's your problem right there."
Oh, I know. It's so strange, isn't it?
Oh, he walks away.
As he's just pocketing the soul stone. Yes, so strange.
I kind of shake my head, turn to the rest as well. I was hoping to get a description of each person before that thing did that. If we look
Well-
at someone, I want to know what they look like.
Well, if they are undercover, it is likely that they weren't looking like themselves.
Probably. Oh well, is what it is.
Well, this, tall drink of water over here seems to be well connected. You heard any of these people's names before?
Oh, no. You misunderstand. It is an organization that is in groups, in small cells. We do not know of each of the other. It would be dangerous.
I am going to, however, Gaston, give you a free history check, if you would like, where you can see if you remember or can recall these names among the various, like, I mean, again, you're right, there are different cells, it's very compartmentalized, but let's see if you can. The target number is 12 on this.
I have a -1 for history.
Yep, so you basically need to flip a 13.
Oh!
Oh, guys.
Damn, that was close. That was close. Okay, look, the names sound very familiar. You can probably tell that the first 2 people are probably American. But you recognize the last name of the missing woman. She definitely sounds Russian. And you do remember a silver-haired woman at one of the meetings that you thought that was really unusual. Maybe that's her, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like this, maybe, you know what I mean? Who knows? All right. Now, as you begin to make your way into deeper guild space, there is no barricade between the industrial zone and, of course, Malifaux Center. It is a short walk. Well, I say short, it's like 20-30 minute walk. To get to the city center, and of course the address is not too far from the outskirts. Along the way, I'm going to give you guys a campfire scene. basically, this is a period of time where you can discuss anything about the mission or anything about your current task that you would like to share, or even if you'd like to share some information about your character, you are now welcome. So, the scene is yours. You have a couple of minutes here.
Hey, I wonder what the mission will entail. If it are they expecting us surely not to fight against the guild? I am not a true soldier, if you could say that. As he's speaking, Gaston pulls out a heavy cloak and drapes it over his construct so that it looks like a shrouded humanoid figure rather than an obvious robot.
Well, it seemed that the concern was also about this mission going public, and kind of just looking at the now covered printing press. Would you happen to have any knowledge on current publications or anything going on at the moment?
Oh, well, yes, of course. It is my business, my trade. Yeah, do you like this? This is my own creation. Drone photo camera. I'm saying it badly.
I think it's
I have moved from being a printer to being a true journalist. I write the articles, and my creation here draws the pictures.
Sounds like a very handy tool. May come in handy if we need to learn how to keep what happened under wraps.
But it is better for producing the real evidence, because the guild, they twist everything. That the tattler, it always lies.
The tattler is all lies. All lies.
Well, it certainly seems nice that you're all for the open, free press and really just telling things how they are. That's absolutely fantastic. How long does it take him to do a quick little sketch?
Well, it depends how much detail you're going for it. So it varies.
It could be a wonderful little side attraction. We could get you a nice little booth, and you could stand out there with your just glowing personality and your way with people, and then your little automaton here. So this is quite lovely. This looks like it's a 3/4. Look, is this millimeters or is this inches? What are we working with here? Actually, I want to, if I can suss anything out about it, because I have a little bit of engineering background.
Gaston, this is one of your kobolds, or is it a different type of construct?
I'm playing the basic Tinker class, so it's using the construct rules from the main Through the Breach rulebook rather than an actual Cobblebot.
Cool. All right. So, what I guess, Arky, you can kind of tell about the robot itself is that there are a few robots in and around Malifaux, some of which are very expensive and are powered by soul stones, very similar to the one that Ellis kind of found on their person. In addition, there are also those who are in the possession of those who possess a modicum of arcane magic and are able to animate constructs through their will. It looks as though this might be the latter. But it's very difficult to say because obviously on the one hand Gaston is explaining hey, I'm I'm not really that powerful, I'm not really that good in a big brawl and stuff like that. At the same time, he may possibly have the magic fortitude, which very few people do, in order to animate a construct. It's like I said, it's kind of like you're unable to ascertain this beyond that kind of relationship.
It's a real fine piece of work, and I slap the construct on the back a couple of times.
Thank you. It's very kind. It's very kind. The money from this job, maybe I can get a proper camera. Then you can take photos rather than drawing. Then much faster.
Sergei, as the others are talking and you are making your way through the city streets, something catches your attention. A smell. It's kind of very familiar. Cut wood? No, something else. Charcoal. Burning wood. It is coming from further up ahead.
Yeah. Anyone smell that? It's like burning wood smell.
Barbecue, maybe.
Maybe. Hopefully nothing's on fire. Well,
Would we
I
all?
mean, we could. I'm happy to swing by. You know, I had a pretty light breakfast, and so if we want to do that before we go and rescue the whole city, that works for me.
Would we all know of the at least? Well, mostly it was Miss Creed, but the witch hunter's propensity for fire magic.
The witch hunter's propensity for fire magic is very famous and very well known.
I look to Ark and just say, well, honestly, I'm rather hoping it's not barbecue. We should probably go check that out.
All right, table for 5.
Oh, great.
All right. Very quickly, you begin to make your way through the streets. It is not long before you suddenly hear further up ahead. You can see some blaring lights and what looks to be a large construct being driven by what looks to be like a tinkerer. He places his arms in these massive gloves, and you hear this as he starts to spray water on a building that is ablaze. This building is, of course, kind of just roaring with fire and the like, and you can see there's panic. There's people gathered around to kind of watch the fire marshals at work, and of course, most importantly, you look at the street sign on the road. It says Wizardy Drive. Someone has basically tattooed or sprayed the actual sign to say that. And sure enough, as you look ahead, you can see that this is, of course, the building that is burning is number 30.
See what the guild does. They are putting out the fire, and they want to be the big heroes. But of course, through atrocity, they have destroyed property within Malifaux, and this is all they're doing. I must take picture.
Our quarry, they're all burning alive. We should probably Sergey around back, make sure nobody runs out.
Yeah, I guess your barbecue is out of the question.
Okay, well, who wants to go with him?
I start getting into gear. Other arm goes in on the backpack.
I would stay here. I have a better view of the proceedings. I can describe them. But if you think it is best, I will go with him.
I can go around back with him if you wish to stay up here.
How about the journalist and I see what we can figure out from the crowd up front, and you two make sure no one escapes or is burning under a log.
You do that. You're better with crowds. I'm better at being away from the crowds.
All right. So to be clear, who's going into the who's going to like sort of search around back?
Yep.
That's 1 and 2, and the other 2 are approaching the emergency services.
Yep.
All right. So let's start with the emergency services. Yes, Ellis.
Just before I head back with Sergey, I'm just going to look at Gaston. Make sure you keep a good eye on those fire aid constructs. Make sure no one's messing with them while you're over here. They're going to need all the help we can get with the fire.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
All right. You can see that the large fire construct is still like just trying to keep everything under control. There are a great number of firemen who are in there manually with like actual hoses and stuff like that. You can see that a few individuals are being like sort of escorted out and towards what looked to be like a small like wagon. That is the hot, kind of like a little emergency wagon, and there are police who are kind of trying to keep people back. Archibald and Gaston, you approach these individuals first.
Yeah.
All right. Nothing to see here. Yes, we've all seen a burning building before, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, it is late at night, and we do not require any further looky-loos or onlookers, so please clear off. No one's moving.
Arky runs up to the police officer, and as he's tottering up to him, his shoulders are sort of hunched now, and like his hips don't work super well. Sort of behind his back, waves at Gaston to try to like go back behind him. He goes up to the police officer and he says, "But it's my boy Caldwell. My boy Caldwell has been renting that upper room for about 3 weeks now." And I'm trying to like push the cop back as I talk to him, all worried like.
Well,
Have you seen him? No, he's a lovely young boy. He's got long black hair that he likes to. It's it's really wonderful. I don't know if you have a daughter or anything like that, but what is it that happened? Talk to me, damn it!
Sir, I'm afraid I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down. There's no information just as yet, but people have been evacuated. I'm not sure if your son is there yet. But I need you to remain calm.
It's the Graysons. I know that it is. I see them all. That they've got their little hibachi grill that's out there. And Caldwell's been talking to them. And I keep trying to push. I glance over my shoulder. Has Gaston started to try to do?
Okay,
yeah,
This is what I'm doing.
Okay, so let's start with a couple of things. First of all, Archibald, we're going to get you to make a deception check in order to see if you manage to successfully distract this individual. So,
Yes, sir.
that is a 13. Oh, there was that 13 you were looking for. But yeah, he is absolutely distracted. He is empathizing with you. He says, "I'm a father myself. I understand the pain, but don't worry. You'll have a chance. On the radio they tell us if they find any dead bodies, none have been recovered yet."
He says dead bodies. I grab his lapels and bury my face.
Oh, it's okay. He hugs you and he like pats your back and stuff. And he says, "Can I get a blanket?" And he yells out and just, yeah. All right. Gaston, because of this, you have a advantage on your stealth check to slip past the police line and get a little bit closer. That is a 2 and a 5. Now, to slip past, the DC, because this is a police line, I'm going to say is 8. So you need to get an 8 on your stealth in order to get past these guys.
Well, I'm not going to make that on a 5. Take my 7 of crows and cheat in.
All right. With your 7 of crows, yeah, you managed to slip past the line. One of the guards, one of the police sort of makes their way towards you, but you kind of do this thing where you kind of like tilt your head down and do a 360-degree turn as he comes past, and he, rushes over and gives Archie a hot cup of like cocoa. And they'd say, "Look, some of the other parents, they're nearby. Okay, we can have you, just sort of wait with them to find out whatever news. Yeah, all right, come with us. And you watch as two guardsmen kind of start escorting Archibald into this area behind the emergency line, but after the barricade. Meanwhile, in an alleyway. Oh yes, Archibald.
Super fast before that. So while I'm all curled up and he's being so wonderful and all of that kind of stuff, I just want to do a quick little. Are there any keys or coin purse or
all right.
Not necessarily money, but anything that might be useful.
All right, let's make a pickpocket challenge to rifle through their pockets. Also, really quickly, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, of course, to the wonderful Malakisa, who has donated $25 for boss mode. So the next fight will be increased in rank against our lovely players, and I'll explain what that is when we get to that fight in just a moment. So anyway, Archie,
Possibly
Pickpocketing.
sooner rather than later if he fails this.
That is a 3 on your pickpocket. The target number you need to hit. He is distracted, so I'm going to play that into it, and I'm going to say your target number is only going to be a 6. So you only need a 6 in order to beat this.
6. That's a 3. Oof, that doesn't do it for me. Ooh. Do we only have our 3 cards the whole game?
No. After combat, you will get a chance to redraw.
Redraw.
Also,
All right.
if you have a particular pursuit, there is a thing called On the Pursuit that if you fail a particular type of challenge, you will get to draw cards. So what is your pursuit?
I do not know. I do not have a pursuit that I am aware of.
Well,
with my
need
new
one.
character.
Alright.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Okay,
Sorry.
well, that's okay. Do you want to pick one now? I'm happy for you to pick one now because you also get a power with it.
What is how do you pick a pursuit? This is I'm new
It's
to.
like your class.
It's like your class. Yeah. Basically, it's a whole bunch of different stuff. Do you have the core book with you there?
Oh yeah, I do.
All right, sweet. So
If I can make a suggestion, you sound like a performer.
yeah. I
Oh
was gonna
yeah,
say,
he's
the
he's
performer.
very much a performer.
Yep. Yeah. So if you're going with a performer, I would say that your performer. Let's see. What does it say here? Okay. So performer is. Right. Everything is just loading up. Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about the Through the Breach game, it is a card-based role-playing game based on the wonderful war game known as Malifaux. It is done by the company known as Weird Games, and they do a bunch of different board games as well. If you do have the opportunity, check them out. They've got a very particular style about them, which I absolutely love and am completely enamored with. All right, here we go. Grave Servant.
It's a social duel.
What's that?
When you fail a social duel with a performer, you draw a card.
Yeah, so it's any social duel. So unfortunately, pickpocket is not a social duel. So anything like convince or bewitch or deception, if you fail those ones, you get to draw a card as well.
Gotcha. Well, I will move this along as quickly as possible. Sorry about that delay. I think I got my pursuit and my something else.
Yep, nope, that's fine.
Mixed up my station. But yeah, I've got my 11 of masks.
11 masks. Oh yeah.
Or sorry, 11 of
easy.
rams.
Easy. Well, here's the 3 things you can lift from this person. You can lift their bag of coins. Their coin contains roughly 3 script, right? In small coins. The second thing you can lift off him is, of course, his gun, because he has a gun. The third thing you can lift off him is a small satchel that seems to contain several like order notes. Like these are basically where it's like, yeah, you've been given this order to do this for the day or to do that for the day. This is just kind of like his standing orders.
Okay.
Do you wish to lift any of these things?
Yeah, we'll go with the satchel of orders and the coins.
All right, very well. Again, there is no resistance there as you've made your check, and you managed to take them off his person. Now,
Cool.
meanwhile, back in the alleyway, Ellis and Sergey, the both of you begin to disappear from the lights on the streets where the flames that have been licking up high have illuminated most of the night sky. Here you can see several burnt footsteps that seem to lead into the back alley here. They're in the kind of cobblestones. You can kind of see these bear footprints. Not like of a bear, but like, you know, like they're not wearing shoes.
Oh, we're about to meet Archibald's past. You mentioned the bear, but okay. I'm just gonna-
I'm sat there, backpack on, rifle across me, so I point my rifle down and point out. Seem to have some tracks.
And going into the alleyway, is there any 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 fire rails, just any kind of ladder on the side of the buildings, or is it just going straight into it? So we wouldn't. Is there any way to get a higher vantage point, or would we just be going straight in?
There's the back door, and then yes, there is a fire escape that seems to be just on the one side of the building. The footsteps, however, seem to be heading further into the darkness behind the building.
Okay.
I look around and can I get hold of any water at all? And even a puddle, anything?
Yeah, I'd say sure there's a puddle. I mean, like I said, there's water been sprayed everywhere and stuff like that, so a couple of puddles here and there.
I take out, it's on top of my backpack. Quickly reach in and grab an old scarf. Get it wet. I put it around my neck in case if we end up going in the building. I've got a mask. Keep out the smoke.
All right. All right, where would you guys like to go? There's the building, there's the ladder, and there's the footsteps.
And do we follow the footsteps or do we check the building? What do you think?
No, maybe best to follow the footsteps, although would you prefer one of us stays here and keeps a lookout with the ladder, or go together?
Can do. I can follow the footsteps.
But I'm suggesting we both go for the footsteps first, because we don't know how far they could get with that if we just kind of stay here.
Yeah, I say follow footsteps for now, and one of us can always come back, keep an eye out if needed.
All right.
Okay.
Tracking the footsteps, you eventually come to it's kind of like a dead end. There you can see a couple of garbage bins kind of like laid and kind of strewn about, like it's just this big pile of garbage, as if like a raccoon or something has toppled the bin. The footsteps seem to lead to the dead end and then disappear.
I kind of keep looking down, looking up, looking down. So, is it right? Does someone just disappear? I look up, look around, see if they could have gone vertical at all. Any
Gone vertical.
yeah, ladder or anything that they could jump up to get hold of.
While he's doing that, Ellis looks around. I'm not really sure how sensing works with Through the Breach actually, but as he is familiar with illusions, would he have any way to reach out and see if there is any illusory stuff going on now? Or any arcane?
Yeah, I'd say so. So, looking around, let's just go with this. Upwards, there doesn't appear to be anything. Like, this is, again, a very dead-end alleyway, and behind the garbage is just another sheer wall to another building. Ellis, looking around, there does not seem to be any magical illusions or influence coming from anywhere. I'm gonna get you guys to make a notice check as you search the area. So let's start with Sergey. Sergey, your notice is a 9 of tomes, and Ellis, a 4 of crows. Your target number is 9.
Be notice, and anything else I add to that? My notice is 2.
All right.
For a notice check, you would add your cunning as well.
Yep.
Cunning.
All right. If no one, all right. If no one wishes to cheat,
1.
then
Yeah.
Sergey, you notice that the garbage is moving. Something seems to be buried beneath.
I take my rifle and kind of gently sort of prod it with the end of the barrel. See what's underneath.
You hear a groaning.
I stand off to one side. You okay there? And I try and peek to see what's making the sound.
All right. Looking at the looking kind of behind the garbage, what you actually see is a man covered in burn wounds, particularly around their hands and feet. He says, "Please, help me."
I turn to Ellis. Medic. I need a medic on this guy. And turn. What's your name?
My name. One of the names. He names one of the NPCs that I totally had written down and know precisely that guy's
Thomas Elliot?
name is that guy.
Thomas Elliot.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Thomas Elliot.
Thomas Elliot.
Is it
It's
Thomas?
Thomas. Yeah, that's it.
Thomas.
My name is Thomas.
Hold. Okay. As I recognise that name, you're going to be okay, mate.
No,
I've
you don't
seen people
understand.
killed.
You don't
I think
understand.
we do.
It wasn't the witch hunters. He grabs you like almost out of desperation. You see that the charcoal has burnt his hands so badly that it is mostly just charcoal. There is like like you can almost feel the pricks of the bone as he sort of grabs onto you, and you can see bits of that charcoal crumbling onto your chest. He says, "It wasn't the
Right.
witch hunters. It wasn't the witch hunters." We then cut back
No.
to the we then cut back to the alleyway, to the from the alleyway to the front. All right. Now you guys are behind the emergency lines, and again you can hear the sounds of the sirens and the like blaring as you know they're as people are you know kind of trying to deal with whatever they can.
Gaston is highly suspicious of the people being moved to the emergency transportation. It's just to him that's like a classic guild thing of they're going to the hospital, right? No, they're going to prison. These people are being renditioned or whatever the sinister word for it is. So he's going to try and get close to that line of people who are being trekked off to the cart.
All right. Sure. You begin to make your way there, and sure enough, you can see that a number of people are getting their statements taken. Like, where were you? Who do you know that was in there? You know, some people are, you know, kind of definitely covered in like smoke and stuff like that. And there's you know, kind of spellcasters who are kind of like healing them with magic. You can see that they're like, again, very, very hoity-toity. They're, you know, kind of dressed in. Actually, you know what? They look exactly like this. Boop. There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so these individuals are casting healing spells and the like on individuals as they come through, like especially like the severely injured ones. And yeah, that's more or less what they're doing. Arky, as you get close, they say you know, like, oh yeah, just stay here and stay with the group. You know, there's still an emergency situation here. We can't have you kind of disappearing, or we can't be pulling you out of there as well. All right?
Oh, yes, thank you so much, officer. It's Caldwell. Caldwell, is that you? Why, I can't believe. And he just kind of makes a beeline, not directly towards, but like in the direction of the fire, and tries to get himself lost in the crowd, like pull a Jason Bourne, which I have a thing to let me do.
Wait, so wait, you're heading towards the fire or the emergency guys?
Towards the like wherever the crowd is that they're still trying to get away from the building.
Oh, okay, yeah,
get lost in that so I can eventually make my way closer to the building.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like imagine if you would like a semicircle around the building.
Yes.
And then inside of that area is another smaller semicircle. So you've gotten past the first barricade and you're in that kind of middle line. So if you move back to the police line, you'd be moving away from the building. To get past the next line, you'd have to push past the actual emergency fire services and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to like push past and get lost in the crowd of emergency talking about seeing Caldwell.
Okay, we're gonna get a stealth check as the guard's like, oh, wait, no, as in like he's again like you've done the one thing he said not to.
Gotcha. And does this work in I'm unassuming, which allows me to get an advantage in not being noticed?
Yep, this
Or
is
angering it.
unassuming will work. So that is a 9 and a 10. So you get a 10 of crows on yours.
Alrighty. What am I going for?
That is only. I mean, it was only a DC of 9. So unless you have negative in it, then you're fine. Okay.
No, my stealth. Yeah, my stealth is. Let me double check. I should be good here. No, so that'll put me at 11.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, you slip into the emergency services and get closer to the building. As the firemen are kind of like, keeping up, they haven't noticed you at all. They say, Samowski hasn't come out yet. Shh. He needs to get out. This whole thing's gonna come down. Shh. Samowski. Shh. You can't save them all. Shh. And suddenly you see, like the roof start to cave in. And you see some of them yell out, Samowski! And then through the flames, like these flickering kind of moments, you can then see a figure starting to make their way out of the building. It appears to be a fireman wearing like kind of like the heavy kind of protective gear, and as he's like holding someone who's unconscious, it appears to be a very badly burnt woman as they pull themselves out of the fire, and you see some people like get us some backup, and a couple of individuals make their way towards the recovering fireman. Gaston, what are you doing as you make your way towards? You're just kind of overhearing stuff at the emergency tent?
Well, if you can kind of get within earshot, he'll start in a really clueless kind of way trying to draw out some information. The library. Did people get out of the library? The books. Are there any book people here? My favorite work on pastry was in there. All the best uses of molasses. I think any old excuse to drop the safe word into conversation.
Nice. As you do that, some people are like, there is no library. There, what are you talking about? One of the individuals kind of says, no, sir. I think the book you're looking for is across the road. And he kind of looks at you.
Across news, the book is safe. I will go and find it.
All right. Also, as you kind of turn to make your way across the road, sure enough, actually, no, let's get you to make a notice check. You can probably do this from this distance. All right. So, as Gaston looks across the road, there's another apartment building not too far away. It is safe from the flames as you look across the way. Wow. Yeah, 13 of crows. Hell yeah. All right. Now, we just had a raid from Avarian now, and I think we have quite a few new people in chat. So, I'm just going to take a quick moment to let everyone know where we're at in the story. Our story thus far is a group of 4 individuals have gathered together in order to do work for a group of, I suppose, like, rebels who believe that spellcasters in this world of early 1900s alternate Earth should have the right to be able to cast spells freely, as it is their inherent right. They, 3 of their agents have gone missing, and our heroes are in search of them. There is the belief that the Witch Hunters, a guild-run group of individuals specializing in hunting spellcasters, is actually after them. And Gaston and Archibald are, they've all arrived at the safe house, and Gaston and Archibald are with the emergency services, trying to kind of figure out what's going on, while Sergei and Ellis are behind the actual building, and they've just found one of the missing arcanists. Now, Sergei. Actually, no, let's do it this way. Gaston, you see in one of the windows, you see the other person whose name I totally remember. Not Thomas Elliot, but the other guy.
Vitaly Carmine?
That's the one. Carmine. And as soon as you see him, because you're again, a reporter for the Arcanists and stuff. You're like, hey, I know you. You're definitely an Arcanist. You're Carmine. Yeah. Oh, Carmine. Yeah. Okay, I get it. And as you see him, you see that he seems to be watching the fire very intently. He doesn't seem concerned or anything like that. And there's definitely something sinister floating around him. Suddenly, both Archibald and Gaston, you hear the sounds of an explosion. This one not coming from the building, but just behind it. Sergey, I need a evasion check from you as
No.
the guy who's
Uh-oh.
grabbing onto you suddenly starts to scream.
May I ask a question?
Of course you may.
Would I be able to tell quickly if what's happening to him with the charcoal burning hands, is that a magical effect that could be counterspelled, or
It is
something I'm
not, sadly.
Okay.
But I appreciate the effort. All right, now. All of a sudden, cracks begin to appear in the charcoal, and a glowing light begins to shine out of it. All of a sudden, the whole body explodes. But you manage, Sergey, to duck out of the way and avoid the attack, unless you got like -2 in your evade.
Nope.
Good, excellent. Now, as the explosion occurs, you suddenly hear some groaning that seems to come from the corpse or the person, however you want to describe it at this point. But what you see in front of you is this. There we go. A charcoaled, burning, smoking skeleton is all that seems to remain as it sort of begins to vomit out just these gouts of fire. In addition, at the front of the building, the fireman is struggling. The person that he is carrying seems to be convulsing. He says, calm down, ma'am. Calm down, ma'am. You've been in an accident. We're going to get you some help. We're going to get you some... And suddenly there's an explosion. And both Samowski and this individual are just ensnared in flame. You cannot see Samowski anymore, but you can see this skeleton standing in the doorway to the building. We have 2 burning skeletons in this encounter. Now, thanks to, of course, our wonderful donation by Malakisa, our burning skeleton has been advanced. Let's see. Our burning skeleton's rank currently is that of a... Oh, no. No, that's not right. That's not the right one. Sorry, my apologies.
Nah, definitely.
No. This was not the right guy. Ignore my description just then. Apparently that was a henchman boss that I was not supposed to show you guys. But this is the yeah, there we go. Look, there we go.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, it's not.
Oh,
much
it's Ghost Rider.
Look, it's potato, okay? Like it's fine. All right, so these guys, there we go. These guys are minions who have now become enforcers. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let me also make this so that people can see the lovely deck, because that is going to be very important for the course of the game. There we go. All right, there we go, so people can see the results. All right, now, so these guys are now enforcers. They're on fire. Burning. All right, we're going to go into initiative. So initiative is your notice ranks plus your speed value. We're going to start with Sergey.
4.
Your initiative is a red joker. So that is an 18. So do remember that one. Next up
18.
is Archibald. Archibald, that is a 7.
1.
So that is an 8 for your initiative. All right, Gaston, that is an 8 on yours.
Also 1, so 9.
So 9, and that is a 7 for Ellis.
3, so 10.
So 10. Okay, cool. So with all said and done, the order of our events shall be... okay, Sergey, I believe Gaston, then Ellis, Archibald, and then the creatures. Alright. So now that we're in initiative, the way that combat works, everyone gets 2 actions. Everything is fundamentally an action. Moving is an action, attacking is an action, concentrating so that you have better odds of doing things is an action, even casting a spell is an action. You have 2 actions and a bonus action, which some people have, but it's very rare. Alright, so Sergey, you are up first. You are the closest to this creature that is burning in the alleyway. As it looks towards you, this charcoaly voice kind of yells out to you. It just sort of goes...
Okay, well that doesn't sound very friendly. As this body exploded, I'd have done that, got his arms away from me, and I'd have gone back, but kept 1 foot on the floor. At the same time, brought my rifle up. I'm going to just aim at center of mass, fire off for 1 round.
All right.
I'm going to book it.
Nope. You take 1 action to draw out your rifle and plant 1 square in center mass. Let's see if you hit. That is a 4 of masks. The target number that you need to hit in order to beat this creature is a 10.
So that's long arms, and do I do anything else?
It's usually intellect with long arms.
Intellect.
Yes.
I have 3, so that'll be 5.
All right, so that's a 9. That is not a 10. However, that being said, Odd Bandicoot has earlier on today donated a inspiration. So inspiration works as follows. Inspiration can either be used to give a +1 boost to anyone, or it can potentially be used to give a -1 to a -1 to the DC of certain things and certain actions.
Can I use one of my cards?
You can use one of your cards if you'd like to cheat it. Yeah, totally.
That is a 5 of rams.
5 of rams. Okay, what does that give you as a total? Oh, that gives you
10.
Okay, so that means because you have met the DC, we're going to flip 3 cards and take the lowest. So that is a moderate damage, low damage, low damage. So, what is the minimum damage on your gun?
2.
2? All right. You pop off around against this this creature, and it takes... Oh, it's also hard to wound, so I flip another card as well. Not that it matters, but there we go. All right. When this character suffers a critical effect... Nope, so that's not it. That's not going to be relevant. All right, yeah. So, you shoot him in the chest, and he takes 2 points of damage. From inside of his gut, you can basically see that his insides are starting to hollow out and be replaced with fire. Okay. That is your 2 actions. Drawing the gun, taking the shot.
Right.
Next up, we have Gaston.
Actually, I think Ellis was ahead of me. Ellis
was it
was
Ellis?
at 10. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Ellis.
Right. So somebody's seeing. Also, there's only seeing this fire, this thing explode into flames. Also, there's only one other I know that has fire, and you alluded to them. I should have known. I'm just gonna say, alright, I guess we should probably get out of here for now. And I'm going to use magical shielding first on Sergey.
Okay. So, that's a bonus action though, isn't it? Like a 0 action?
Is it?
Magical
I
shielding?
don't-
I think it might be. I mean, it might not be. Maybe I'm lying.
Shielding a character's magical shielding is a 1 action.
1 action. Okay, very well. All right, so Sergey, you watch as Ellis gestures towards you, and as she what color is your magic?
His magic is mainly different shades of blue. At the moment, it's a deeper kind of navy.
Yep. Okay, so a very a semi-corporeal shield of magic suddenly ignites around you as Ellis gestures with his hands towards your person. All right, that is 1 action. What else do you want to do?
Alright. With that, I want to see. Let's see. I want to make sure it's only 1 AP. What I want to do next. May I try for an illusion? Is that right? Is it okay if I go for that? I want to
Sorry, try for a...
An illusion.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Sorry,
All
sorry.
right. So what do you need to get for the illusion?
I need to get I need a mask. I need to get, what is it? A 6, I believe.
6 of mask or higher? All right, that is a 3 of rams.
May I cheat?
You may cheat.
All right, and I want to use, where are you? Show yourself. 9 of masks.
9 of masks. Okay, what does that bring your total to?
That brings me to 13.
All right. Well, with a 13, that does manage to go off, and thankfully, it beats the DC of their willpower, which is 12. So, describe your illusion.
All right, so realizing that maybe I just to not sure how this creature is going to react. I want to create kind of like almost sort of suddenly appearing out of a wall, almost another man, but who is also sort of showing as hostile as can be towards this creature, who has a firearm as well and looks like they are preparing to shoot at the creature.
All right, so you're creating another target, as it were. All right, very well. Another hostile entity that seems to be attacking this creature appears out of thin air. They pull out a gun very similar to the one that Sergey has and is cocked and loaded, waiting to pounce. All right, Gaston.
Gaston, for all that he despises the guild, and guild mages in particular, will assume that they are capable of dealing with whatever this apparition is. He's rather disturbed by the appearance of Carmine in the window, and so he's going to start moving towards that house. I don't know how many move actions are going to be needed to get there, but basically he's going to head that way. Oh,
just a single action. In fact, with a single action, you can get in and begin to climb up to the second story where you saw Carmine in the window.
Yeah. All right. Well, he'll do that, and as he starts to head up the stairs, because he was a little concerned there, he's going to draw his pistol as he goes.
Okay. Just pull out your gun as you move around. All right. Archibald.
Sorry. Yeah. So Archie is about, because I'm in that line, so I'm near the one that engulfed poor the poor
Zemitsky.
Zemitsky, yeah, poor Zemitsky. He was just about to retire.
He was about to retire. 3 days from retirement.
And so, yeah, I will. About how far away is in terms of range do you think that is?
Oh, like barely 4 yards.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Like, again, you've pushed. When I say you've pushed into like the danger zone, you pushed into the danger zone. Like you feel the heat, the cloying of the smoke is kind of choking you a little bit. Yeah, you're right in the mix of things.
Yeah, so he pulls his little cravat up over his nose, and is the creature like still holding the woman?
No. So Zemitsky was holding the woman. The woman exploded. You can't see Zemitsky. You believe that with the impact, he's likely the body's been flung back into the fire. And the woman's kind of on the ground at the moment. So she's actually lying on the ground. But you can see that she's moving and getting ready to kind of stand up.
And the woman is this creature?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, as she's crawling to do all that kind of stuff, Archie reaches into his vest and looks at yells out at her and says, "Hey, Bright Eyes!" And he brings out this tiny little. It looks like this short little snub-nosed, but then it's got 9 barrels on it. And as he pulls the trigger, 3 of them fire all in automatically in a row.
Nice. All right, let's see what happens. So we're gonna make a pistols check. All right, that is a 6 of masks.
All right, and I got 3.
So that's a 9. You need a 10.
I
There is
need
still
a 10.
Yep, there's still that inspiration from Odd Bandicoot, which would kick you to 10.
Let's see how lucky we can get and try to earn this. If it's all right with everybody else, I'm gonna squeak it by and try to blow the slitties.
All right.
Poor unfortunate soul.
Everyone good with that? Sweet. All right, so
All right.
equaling again, this is a glancing blow, which means 1, 2, 3, so low damage of 4. So what is the low damage on your shot here?
2.
2. All right, so as the pepper box blasts, you can see that a spray riddles the creature. Some of the bullets hit the ground and sort of send these small tufts of cobblestone just into the air. But you can see wherever your bullet seems to have struck this flaming creature, just fire starts to pour outwards, almost as if you'd punctured a pipe. You know what I mean? And like gas is sort of leaking. So it's like. And just flame erupts from the wounds.
So since it's burst fire and it shoots 3, does that mean it does 2 damage for each bullet, all 3?
So if it's burst fire, what it means is, you know the explosion marker that's on your damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically if you hit with that, it'll then deal damage to the creatures around it as well. So if you want to, you can blow up some other creatures if you'd like.
There's no other ones around.
Well, there's
though,
firemen.
Yeah, we'll not shoot the
Okay,
firemen.
just checking. All right. And you hear someone go, "He's got a gun!" No. All right. Because no one noticed you there. It's just suddenly bang. Oh my god. All right. Which very neatly then, as it is one action to draw the gun, the second action to take the shot, it is now the creature's turn. The one next to Archibald sort of takes his first action to stand and rise up. As it does so, it again sort of sways back and forth with the flames licking behind it. All right. Born to Flame, Burning Grasp. It is going to, well, it can't move up to you. So it is going to create a Burning Veil as a bonus action. So what this does is the hair on the woman suddenly disappears and is replaced by fire, which then covers her person. Any melee attacks that she deals from this point on will add burning, which will mean it'll set you on fire. That's a bonus action. She is then going to charge at Archibald and is going to try and make an attack. Now, in Through the Breach, the Fate Master, myself, does not do anything. All of this comes down to our player's check, so I'm going to need you, Archibald, to make a defensive duel. To avoid the attack, you need to hit a 13 on your defense.
I don't suppose I could use that whole gain an advantage to not anger somebody after shooting her.
No. No. Now, to let everyone know exactly what this means, now, Malakisa, to let you know, has boosted the rank from Minion to Enforcer, which took this value from a 10 to a 12. So now, that's kind of how a boss buff works in this game, which makes it very, 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 very challenging. But, you know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, so, Archibald, you get for your defense... Ooh, a 5. That's not ideal.
Yeah, my defense is only 2.
So that puts you at a 7.
And that my card that's left is a 5, so I can't really do anything about this.
Oh, well, this is gonna be fun. So let's start with number 1. Let's do it step by step. So first of all, because he has beaten you by 1 margin, which is a 6 or less, he flips twice and takes the lower result, which is low damage, which is 1 point of damage. So that's not too bad. Okay. However, you also gain Burning 1 from the effect, which goes to Burning 2 because of the Veil. And because your defense was a ram, that we can see here, the ram trigger on this attack is called Immolate. After succeeding, you now gain the following condition: Ever Burning. You do not end this condition at the end of a turn you normally would. You need... Basically, it'll ignore one assistance of someone trying to put you out. So it's twice as hard for you to put out the fire. But yeah, so
Okay.
Archibald, you, my friend, are burning alive.
And I've taken 3 wounds.
No. You've taken 1 damage and you're burning
1.
2. Oh, actually, you'll take 1 more wound in a second because your burning will trigger, and then everyone who's burning takes damage. But
Got
yeah,
it.
so it's like an ongoing effect that triggers at the end of the round. But yes, so burning 2 and 1 damage is what you get. The second creature, which is in the back alleyway, looks towards Sergey and Ellis. This one will, however, take 2 actions to breathe fire out at Sergey and try to encompass the other creature as well. So one will go against the illusion, which will miss, and the other is going to go against Sergey. So Sergey, we get a defensive flip from you to see if you can avoid a flamethrower.
With your
Nice.
no.
You roll and you duck underneath the flames. They pass over you harmlessly, and you are not even remotely damaged. All right.
Nice.
And end of the round. Archibald, you take 1 point of damage from burning. And that brings us to the top yet again. So, Sergey, we go to you.
Well, my Systema training came in very handy. Being able to move out the way of that fire. I kind of look at my rifle. I think we need some water. Should we, some firemen out the front? Should we get some backup?
I think it's oh goodness, oh no. Just awful.
And yeah. And
Come on.
I'm just out of there. Or at least put some distance between me and this thing. And finally get up off the floor as well.
So wait, were you suggesting that we're leading this back to the firefight, like the contracts that were doused in everything?
Well,
Yes.
we could either fight this on our own, or, well,
Well,
fight fire with water.
surviving sounds much better. Let's do that one.
I'll just get out of there.
All right. Very
Back
well.
to the front and try and get hold of a fireman.
Beautiful. All right. So, Sergey, you turn and you begin to book it. If you're going to use both your actions to do so, beautiful. That'll work 100% with no trouble whatsoever. All right. Which brings us to Ellis.
Alright, so as I understood, our idea is that we're not trying to lure this thing, but at least get backup for it. So I'm going
At least
to
some distance.
At least some distance, yeah. Okay, so first section, I'm going to order the illusion to sort of maneuver themselves, kind of back up a bit, and then take like the center of the alleyway, still pointing their firearm at this creature, and then I'm going to start getting away as well. They're kind of just like backing up themselves while I'm
All right.
booking it.
Now, it will take you an action to command the illusion or to change the nature of the illusion, which is fine. So it moves and it sort of intercedes and will kind of take aim. And then you use your second action to move back down the alleyway. All right, beautiful. All right. Which brings us to Gaston. Gaston, you've climbed up the flight of stairs. You can see just ahead is, of course, the room where you believe Carmine to be.
Yeah. Gaston will move to the top of the stairs and move to the doorway and sort of cautiously sort of test the knob and push the door open if you can, and call through the gap. Vitali Carmine? Molasses?
All right. As you call this out, you can hear some chanting coming from deep inside.
Okay. Gaston will call back over his shoulder to his construct and command sparare, which is his word for shoot. Start taking pictures.
All right. It's mostly looking at you at this point.
So yeah, one action to open the door and try and call out, one action to command his construct.
All right, very well. Coolios. Next up, we go to Archibald.
All right. I'm assuming burning is a free action.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Please.
There's a big mech thing that has been like dumping water on this house, right?
Yep.
So is there a big tub of water?
There are
nearby?
2 large canisters of water which have like giant pipes that lead into the giant mech. You can see that the other pipes, like the other hoses, are in there as well. Yeah, you can see that.
Okay. About how far is the closest? Like, I'm imagining it's like this big pipe, like high pressure pipe thing, flex pipe.
Yep.
Okay. Is there one that I think I could get just get to the pipe?
Yeah,
If I
some of
ran
the
towards it?
firefighters who have like kind of seen the explosion have like reflexively done what firefighters should do, which is if you hear an explosion, it's probably too late. But if you do, you drop what you're doing and you run. So he's dropped. So there's a couple of that have dropped the pipe, and well, after turning it off, obviously they turn it off and they pipe it and run.
Okay.
And so I'd say that there's one, relatively close to you.
So I run towards that pipe, and then when I get close enough, because fire hoses are under quite a bit of pressure, my one action to run towards it, and then when I'm within as close as I can get to it, I take my second pepper box shot at the hose, so that hopefully I'll hit the hose and it'll just start spraying me.
Absolutely. And with a pepper box shot, it definitely does. You destroy the hose and it starts to spray in all directions. Now, as it does so, you are doused in water. Like, water just flows over you in big rushes. You are, however, still on fire.
This just doesn't seem fair.
As you now lose the condition ever-burning flame, so now the fires can be put out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just stand in the water as best I could, turning to try to let it get as much as I can.
Yep, just rolling in the puddles and all that. Oh, it burns. Okay. Which takes us back to the burning individuals. Now, as this happens, you can see that several of the guards have come out and they've started firing blasts at it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you view it, thanks to Malakis's buff, none of the guards are actually able to hit these creatures anymore, as the guards are minions, and they always roll, or they always get a set value for their attacks. And of course, these creatures have a set value for their defense, which is much higher than that point. So yeah, they're firing and they're taking pot shots, but the flames are kind of disorienting their aim. I'm gonna say that the one in the front of that building is gonna turn their attention to the guild guards, and I'm gonna roll the dice on it. There are 4 guild guards here, and I'm gonna say that number 1 is the guy who's trying to help Archibald find his family. All right, here we go. That is a 4.
Come on, Not Derek.
Not Derek. Yeah, it's Derek. But no, it burns up another one of the guard members. It's not Derek, but you hear this this horrifying screaming sound. Now he always does medium damage here, which
Yeah,
is an
that was Michelle,
explosion.
that's
So he'll
fine.
take out another one of the guards, which will be Derek. But Derek is not dead from this attack, though. But Derek is burning as he catches fire. He starts to panic.
No!
All right. Meanwhile, in the back of the alleyway, only one target and no discernible form of intelligence, really. I mean, they are intelligent, but not like overly intelligent. But yeah, he is going to just spend a couple of actions burning at this thing. After this round, however, it will realize that this creature is fake, as it is not burning. It's just standing there. It's not even attacking them. So it'll kind of figure that out. Meanwhile, all right, let's zhuzh this up a little bit, shall we? All right, here we go. As you make your way into the apartment, so are you actually entering the apartment, by the way?
Yeah,
Gaston?
just inside the door.
Just inside the door. All right.
He doesn't have his gun raised yet, but he's really uncomfortable with this whole situation.
No, that absolutely makes perfect sense. So as you enter the scenario here, you can see that this is a like kind of almost like a safe house that's been like under staking out for like ages. You can see that there's like lots of like food, like packaging, like just kind of like lined out around the place. You can kind of see that there's kind of just this smell of like sweat and stank that someone hasn't bathed in quite a while. And at the end of the room, you see this individual, a bald-shaven folk who seems to wear a robe over an otherwise shirtless body. Around his neck is emblazoned with a tattoo of a burning hand, and he looks to you and he says, "Have you come, brother? Have you come to see the glory? The glory of the Burning Man. It calls to me." The others couldn't hear the voice. And then he turns his face towards the window. You can kind of see the glow of the fire emanating on his face as he says, "But they see it now. They can see and feel his glory. I shall share it with you too, brother." And you see as he holds up what looks to be a knife that is inset with a brilliant red soulstone. Or at least a shard of a red soulstone. You'll see it too.
That's very generous, but no, not the kind of glory I want.
All right. I guess we will go back into the top of the round. As Sergey, actually, we're gonna go into a slightly different scene here. Sergey and Ellis, you both burst out of the alleyway and can see Archibald is on fire and on the ground. We're not in combat, but what are the two of you gonna do as you approach and you see the scene?
If there's anyone I'm able to help with the more, like I don't know if Archibald needs any help with the burning, or if there's anyone else like closer that I would be able to help with it. Perfect. Thank you for that. Yes. Thank you for that. So
Yeah,
I can Archibald with that if he needs help with it, or if it's just something that you can do yourself. I wasn't sure on that.
You can go over and you can assist, like trying to pat him out and stuff like that. Is that what you want to do?
Mhm.
All right. So you make your way over and begin to try and pat him out. You prevent one burning. So now you've gone from burning 2 to burning 1.
I'm just gonna just so you know, there was another look at what they were fighting. There's another one of those. We should probably get as far away from here as possible soon.
Archie puts a very shaky hand up. Sergey, what about you?
I look at Archibald first, but Ellis gets to him first. I keep one eye whether any other help is needed, and I go to the fireman, or turn to the fireman, rifle up, pointing at the alleyway. There's another one down that way. I shot it once. It's still going.
Okay. These things aren't really built for this. And you watch as the fireman in that giant kind of steampunk metal fireman suit sort of tries to take up position. This guy is not a combatant, so unfortunately he can't flip high enough to hit these things. So he starts to spray gouts of water down towards the flaming specters as these like huge streams of water hit the ground with such force that it kind of feels like it's raining. The creatures themselves seem to almost like shudder. Their bodies twitch rapidly and then as they move across this scene. You see the second one following down the alleyway. You can then hear Gaston, the cultist, looking down at this scene, going, "Is it not glorious, brother?"
Yeah, I really think you and I have different ideas of glory. I am going to raise the pistol and take a pot shot at this dirty cultist.
All right. You take a shot at the cultist. With gun raised, you Black Joker. As the Black Joker strikes this, as you fire, your pistol flies through the air towards the cultist of the cultist of the Burning Man. It penetrates the center mass of his body. And as it does so, he stops and he looks at it. And then he looks at you. And he says, "Thank you." And as he smiles, blood pours from his teeth. And as it does so, you watch as his feet start to burn like matchsticks, rising upwards. And as it happens, he opens his mouth and looks to the sky. You can all see now this pillar of fire that sort of raises upwards. There's a glow of light as his skin starts to peel like paper and then burn into the wind as it transforms into ash. Both of the specters do the same thing as they raise their arms to the sky, their eyes glowing lights shooting until there's a perfect triangle centered on this entire space. At this point,
catastrophe struck today as an explosion rocked the center of Malifaux's guild district. At a fire earlier on today, emergency services were unable to caution the blaze, and an explosion in a gas canister saw the loss of many lives on the street that day. It is a sad day indeed. It is still unknown as to what may have caused this incident, and those recovered from the scene are still receiving treatment. But we are hoping that in time we will see that anyone responsible for these acts of terror and fear will be brought to justice by the noble hands of the Guild Guard. It is said by some reporters that signs of witch hunters lead us to believe that the Arcanists were somehow involved. An ongoing inquiry to several people seen at the site of the crime capable of using magic are being interviewed as we speak in the Witch Hunters Enclave. More details to follow. Thank you, and good night.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are going to end today's session. Thank you very much for everyone for coming and joining us. Did our heroes win? Did our heroes lose? Did they survive? Did they not? All of these questions are always going to be there and always going to hang out. Now, Quincy, my dear friend, I appreciate the magic bag. Thank you so much for the gift. So, I'm going to allow for something special to happen. Now, originally the ending is, of course, the bombing of this particular street, but I am going to allow our dear friend Quincy, if you're still in chat, to pick one player to receive this magic item. Let me know who that player is, and they will get the plot-relevant magic item. So any player whatsoever. We have Sergey, Archibald, Ellis, and Gaston. Also, thank you so much to Hexgrid Heroes for the raid. Guys, stick around, mostly because you'll earn channel points for sticking around for us raiding someone else. Roll the d4, it's going to Gaston. All right, Gaston. Even though our story has ended, our scene once again picks up. We find ourselves in a small, very, very kind of like waterlogged alleyway. It is by a river that runs through Malifaux City. It is kind of like dirty, it's gray, you can barely see the bottom of the river itself. And you can still see the smoke pluming in the distance. You watch as a couple of fishermen, one of which seems to have like kind of this very, very unique looking rod with a tiny griffin on the actual reel as it, as he's kind of like, trying to fish for fish that really don't show up in this river. The two fishermen watch as a glowing orb suddenly comes from the sky and splashes down into the river. As this happens, they both run down to the jetty and look into the water to see if they can see what had happened. Do you see anything? No, I can't say I do see anything, sir. Maybe over in... oh, no, there, I think I see something. They cast their gaze down into the water and they can see several bubbles moving towards them before suddenly a hand and a second hand reach out onto the dock. Ah! They kind of shout, startled, as Gaston, you pull yourself, gasping for breath, out of the water. As you do so, you stand up and check your body. You seem unharmed, for the most part. The explosion must have blown you several blocks from the location, but not a single scratch on you. And that is when you see something in your pocket. You pull it out, and it's simply a small bullet that has the name Gaston written on it. And it vaporizes into ash. It is a special magic item that I added to Malifaux called the bullet with your name on it. It prevents a death. Because that's, like, you can't get hit by the bullet with your name on it if you have it, so, I mean, yay. Alright, so, thank you to Quincy. Gaston, your character will have, again, gone through that, and I can give you the reveal of Gaston having survived unscathed despite his incredibly close proximity to that explosion. But the others will leave a mystery. Now, one of the coolest things about Malifaux, the coolest things about Through the Breach is, at the end of every session, everyone levels up. Everyone gets a rank in the pursuit that they followed for today's session. But in addition, in order to actually advance in Malifaux, you have to undergo what's called destinies. Every single character has a small 5-line poem that if they achieve any line of that poem, their character gets a unique and special ability made by the GM to give to them for their character permanently. They're always unique powers and they're always very, very powerful. So I want to ask my players now, during your sign out, so let us know who you are, where you can find you, and if you've got a memorable moment for today as well, share your memorable moment, but then also share us a destiny if you believe you have achieved one. So let's go in reverse order this time, starting with McKinley. McKinley, aka McBluff. Tell us about your memorable moment and if you got any destinies.
Sorry, one second.
No, that's okay.
It just sorry. There it is. Okay. I don't. I'm not sure what my favorite moment would have been. I did like Archibald and Sergei's interaction at the beginning. That was pretty cool.
That was very cool. Like how they were both like, like this is why are you here? Why are you here? It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're pointing at each other. It's very cute. I like that. Oh, that was true. Any destiny steps for you?
Well, the thing is, they aren't quite for me, so they wouldn't be something I would get. But this is quite funny, I find, because first one, well, both tied to the cultist of the Burning Man. The last man will speak the lies of your glory, and the joy of madness will claim you.
I'll take the joy of madness will claim you. So there is a person or an advanced archetype known as the Demolitionist. I'm going to. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You can wait. Go ahead.
No. What were you gonna say? You're allowed to say stuff.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. There's an archetype called the Demolitionist. As someone who has experienced the quote-unquote joy, I'm going to allow you to ignore or reduce any damage from explosions to 0 is your special power. Or you can boost up one of your primary stats by 1. Whichever you would prefer. Rick?
Yeah, it was a fun game. I like the fact that Malifaux often, a good ending is just surviving. It's not the first one of these one-shots where I feel like I've precipitated the apocalypse before the end.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite moment was probably Archie and the policeman. That was great job, Ryan.
That was pretty gold. I did like that. Too.
And in terms of destinies, you could pretty much read half of mine for what just happened. It's after you bleed the coal from the bones, your deeds will be undone before the 13th step, and you will leave your mark in many woes.
Ooh, all right. Well, I'm gonna give you. You'll leave your mark in many woes. I'm gonna give you a special power. Your power is the soles of your feet are unnaturally warm, and as a bonus action, if you would like, you can create hazardous terrain where you tread. However, doing so will cause you to take 1 burning per yard that you make into hazardous terrain. So basically, you can create like a walkway of fire behind you. Or you can get +1 to one of your primary stats. You don't have to decide on stream or now, but that is the options you've got there. So yeah, you basically can set fire to the places you walk.
That sounds like but I'm going to make that decision later.
Yeah.
I need to think about what Gaston might actually look like after all of this mess.
Yep. All right, Archibald.
Oh boy. You know what? I gotta say, I love the twist of, blowing away the cultist and saving the day, and then that's what has him go all Super Saiyan and cause the problem. So that's what a really fun thing. As far as the destiny, I don't know. Maybe the very end of mine, just with the back and forth. Oh, this isn't working. Of getting set on fire, everything. So the destiny poem that I have is when you accept your fates upon the river, you will shatter the stone. As the witless man fears the child, love knows no heart but the bosom, and motions shudders and stutters. It's some new wave poetry right there. But
I like that poet. Read the line about the river again.
When you accept your fates upon the river.
Ooh, I do like that one. All right,
fun.
I'm going to take that one because what I'm going to say is that with Gaston having been flung into the river as well, and that is actually legitimately part of the the storyline. You accepted your fate in the fire. while at the same time a member of your group was, of course, cast into the river, which was their fate. Thanks to, of course, our lovely friend Quincy as well, having survived the encounter.
Thanks, Quincy.
I'm going to say this, that your character is going to gain an immunity to the burning condition. So you basically set yourself on fire, and you are you definitely had the ever burning curse. But the thing is, I'm gonna take this like Avengers way. You're now always burning, but you never take damage from burning.
Oh.
So that
So I
is
can
your
flame
immunity
on.
to it. You're immune to the burning condition, because
So that's-
basically, yeah, you're always on fire. But it doesn't sort of hollow you out like it did with this. But like kind of it gives your eyes like kind of a charcoaly kind of like, it almost looks like you're wearing like dye liner.
Oh, his red hair, man.
Yep, the red hair, yep, everything. Wow, Paula Deeming, thank you so much for coming in. Raid of 57 people. Guys, thank you for showing up. We're actually just about to end. But guys, do hit that follow button. Go check me out because like we do tons of role-playing games. You will not regret it. What were you doing, Paula? Just super quick. Let's give you a proper shout out here. Paula Deming. Boom. There we go. Holy Raid. Yeah, the Holy Raid. Did I write that right? I think I did.
Oh, they're playing Control.
Control. Cool. I've not played Control. But now I have to try it because that is what I do. But thank you so much. Yeah. So, but do stick around for the raid because we do D&D, but we do a bunch of like channel point rewards, and you earn the most channel points from like raids and stuff. So stick around. All right, we're doing favorite moments and destiny steps where everyone gets special powers. Sergey, aka DM Stretch, buddy. Oh, DM Stretch saving company.
Yeah. Might have had a little hand in that.
Oh, there you go.
Favorite moments, a couple. Archibald, full stop, was a great character and very well played. The bit at the beginning was just very cool. And for the most, as far as Sergey is concerned, the scene in the alleyway where I'm gently prodding the garbage, see what's making the noise. I go to comfort the guy, and oh my god, it floats up and turns into a bunny skeleton. Holy crap!
Nice. Yeah, that was amazing. That was really cool. And I love the fact that you guys did play off each other as well. Like, it wasn't just like 4 people doing individual things. So if I had to say my memorable moment, it was definitely how quickly each of you ended up just working together. Ellis sort of saying, hey, we should, do this together. And maybe even if we break into teams, we should stay like in pairs. Gaston and Archibald with their, kind of like working with the police officers to have Gaston sneak in. And then Sergey and Ellis, like once they kind of got into the fight with this giant flaming dude, started backing each other up with Ellis casting the illusions and Sergey kind of cocking the gun and sort of saying, we need to go get back up. It was amazing. It was a very, very wonderful game. Sergey, did you get any Destiny steps with yours?
So the thing, I think so.
Okay, what do you got?
Read out my destiny. After the branch snaps beneath your sorrow, you will refuse the call, but love was left behind. The red woman will light the path, and eyes in the darkness will change you.
Ooh. All right. We cut our scene for a third and final time as we find ourselves in the sewers below. Sergey, you awaken. There's this foul stink in the air as you pull yourself up. You can kind of see that you've kind of like, maybe you've kind of fallen through a manhole in the street. You're not sure like how, because it's still got the iron lid on it. But as you look around, that smell just gets larger and larger. And as it does so, all of a sudden, emerging from the darkness, you see what looks to be a man with a stitch coming across his face, almost as if his whole top half of his head was removed and then stitched back on. And he says, "Well, I guess you can't trust any of the arcanists these days. Have you ever thought about signing up with this different lot? I mean, we've got spells. We've got spells for days. And we have a knack for pulling people out of the grave. And with that, he smiles, and the stitches kind of go wide, as you are now being propositioned by the Resurrectionists. If you wish to, your character's destiny can be to join the Resurrectionists, which will give you 2 ranks in Necromancy. So you get an additional 2 ranks in Necromancy, and you will join their faction without having to be undead. Or you can get a +1 to your stats. Either or, whatever you feel like, that's for you to decide later. Yes, Mac.
I also just want to say, I was playing as this is a separate thing from what happened last time with Els, but Els, you gotta have some real trauma about burning houses by now.
That's true.
Like there was
That's
a
very
patch.
true. All the burning houses.
All the burning houses, all the resurrectionists, everything. Just
Yeah, that's it. But no one knows about the resurrection, so yeah, no, it's all right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for those of you who stuck through the whole game. Thank you for those who raided. Big shout out to, of course, Malakisa for the raid earlier on. Avarian CA, my dear friend, thank you so much for joining us. Hexgrid Heroes, you bloody legends. And of course, the amazing and indomitable Paula Deming. Thank you so much, guys, for your support, your love. My name is Michael. I'm the Dead Aussie Gamer. You can find me here multiple times during the week. Next game is tomorrow morning, where we are going to be playing Strange Aeons, which is our Lovecraft adventure. Whatever time it is now, 3.5 hours ago, tomorrow is when we are going to be back. And then Sunday, we're going to be back for Rise of the Rune Lords. Then Monday, we're going to be back for Curse of the Crimson Throne. Tuesday, I do things every day. Just come, follow, look up Dead Aussie Gamer. You'll see me, and we do amazing things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are going to go and raid the amazing, the wonderful, the incredible Lord Gozumba. If you are into D&D, and if you are into tabletop role-playing games, guys, check these dudes out. These guys are amazing. Lord Gozumba runs one of the most impressive D&D maps I have ever seen on the internet. It is a thing of absolute beauty, and half the time, I'm supposed to put these things in the background so I can work while I do stuff. I don't. I just watch his things. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being awesome. Until we meet again, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Bye, everyone.